Hey YouTube, welcome to my new channel. This is going to be a car repair restoration channel. The first project I bought was a BMW E46 320i, the big 320i. If you have a 320i, there's two models. You got the inline strike 6 in both of them, but the one has only 150 brake horsepower, while the other one has 170 brake horsepower. And I got the big 320i, which is a 2.2 liters engine, where the 150 horsepower engine is a 2.0 liter engine. So my first project is going to be a BMW E46 320i Touring. It already drove like 5,000 kilometers in it. Whenever I touched the brake pedal, it was shaking like an addict that missing his drugs. So it was shaking really fucking bad. So I changed the brake pads, changed the brake rotors, and changed both calipers in the front. Besides that, I got my wheels painted, restored them myself with some sandpaper. Not the best result, but still better than what I started with. And of course, a new set of tires on it. So yeah, I'll walk you through it, but this is an introduction, so welcome. The first thing I'm going to do is actually clean the car, because before I take it into the workshop, I really want a nice clean car to start working at. So the first thing I'm going to do with you guys is to clean the car. So let's get to it. Please guys, remember to keep your windows fully closed when you're watching the car, or else I can see there's water on the inside of my driving side window, and that's because I didn't close the window properly. Hey guys, so welcome to the workshop. The first thing I'm going to do is actually just take the car on the lid and put it up so you guys can see what I'm about to change and what I have changed on it. And then I'll take you through and talk a little about what I'm planning to change on it. The first thing I'm really going to do is changing the entire coolant system and the oil filter housing, gasket and Vanos oil line to the engine. And that's a known issue for these cars. The oil filter housing gasket is always going to leak on this kind of engine, and the engine before that and the engine after that, and all BMW is leaking oil. It's actually a kind of way for BMW to mark its territory. So all the guys know that the best BMW is the one that leaks the most. Let's start with pulling it up in the air, shall we? As I tried to say before, this is a new workshop I just got in. So just like everything else, it's not the floor is not completely level. The walls is not isolated, so on the window out here it's really cold. But and because the floor is not level, always have a screwdriver with me so you can put behind the wheel so it doesn't roll away from me. Yeah. Yep. Screwdriver on now, stuck there. The front of the car, it will fit, so it's only in the back of the car I'll do like this. Sorry if the camera is a bit shaky, I just got a handheld so I can show you guys what I'm about to do. So the first thing I'm going to change is the oil filter housing gasket, and that's because it's leaking oil, as you can see when we get the car up in there. The second thing, the car is 23 years old, so everything that's made out of rubber and plastic is brittle and is about to die. As you can see, this one here, the previous owner fixed it with some silicone. I don't know what it is, but we need to change it to a new one. But when we got an old car like this, everything in the plastic and made of rubber is going to get brittle and will, it won't last forever. That's also why we're going to change the entire coolant system. Everything from the radiator to the thermostat to the expansion tank. And all the little hoses beside that. We're going to change everything in the coolant system. And that's just because this is a 23-year-old car. A BMW's engine is made out of an aluminum block, which means that it's really good, it doesn't weigh that much, but the problem with aluminum is if it gets too hot, it will break. And a lot of these cars, if it's the radiator, the coolant system is leaking, the engine will, just when you see in the odometer, if the point gets up to the red part, it's almost certain that you need a new engine. Some may be lucky and doesn't need a new engine, but just to be sure, I want to drive the thing for a long time, it's my daily driver, then I'm going to change everything in the coolant system. So yeah. And in a workshop like this, where you don't really have that much space, it's really important to not just lift the car up. You need to keep a eye out, because or else I'm going to hit the roof of this building. Much better. Yeah, let me show you what I have changed here. So as you can see in here, we got brand new brake calipers, brand new brake rotors and brand new brake pads. And that's because when I got the car, just when you push the pedal just a little bit, the whole car was shaking like an addict that was missing his drugs. So yeah, I changed that. I'm sorry you guys couldn't see it, but we did that. The other thing we did was sand down the wheel and paint it so it looks better, not like new. There's still some scratches in it, but we got most of the woman hits gone. So yeah, I can see the cleaning wasn't really that good. Fuck. Just take that. Yeah, here we are at the rear of the car. Here I haven't done anything yet. I also need to address the brakes, because as you can see, this is rusty. It works fine. It's not like it's hanging or something like that, but I still need to get it refurbished, because this, I don't really like it. New brake pads, new brake rotors, just to make it sweet. So that's what we're going to do here. The other thing we have is, if we just turn the camera a little bit, as you can see in here, you got some rust. All this kind of bubbly rusty I'm going to make. Going to sand it down. This one I'm just going to sand down and repaint, make sure all the rust is gone, so there doesn't come new rust. And on the other side of the car here, as you can see, it's also bubbled up here. This is a lot worse than on the other side. So here I'm going to take off the bumper and actually repair the whole thing and need it repainted. So yeah, but we're going to address all these issues, because I don't want a rusty car. The project here is to make this car new, or almost as good as. So yeah, I'll take you guys in on the bottom here, so you can also see what we need to be doing here, because this is an old car. There's a lot of things that's brittle, that's leaking, and we need to address all the issues so we have a really nice car. The thing about this car, it is a E46 Touring. I really like the Touring, I really like this car, it drives amazing. But if I could choose myself, of course I can choose myself, I have chosen this one. I'm a father, so that's why I chose the Touring. Or else I would really like a coupe or a sedan instead. And that's just because I don't think the back end of this car, it's like really sporty front, then you come to the back, I think it's a lot bump. I know it's a personal opinion, but for me, I personally like the coupe. And that's what I'm heading after, this one. But in my country, we got a lot of rust, and that's because in the winter season, when there's icy roads, we put salt on the roads to get this ice to melt. And yeah, water plus salt equals rust. And that's a big problem to live up here. Besides that, we got a sea all around my country, so we get a lot of salt in the air. Yeah, so it will rust, the car will rust. But let's start with pulling off the plate here, so you guys can see the engine from underneath. This is actually my first BMW. Before this I drove a Toyota. I always liked BMWs and repaired a lot of them in my time, but never really bought anyone. And that's because I really like the E46. For me, this is BMW's greatest car. And that's because, like this car here, it's a 320i. It only got 170 brake horsepower. And even though it got 170 brake horsepower, it's still an inline straight 6 engine. You just don't see that today. Just if you take it to the next one, E90. It's a 4-cylinder engine with turbo. It's good, yeah, but it doesn't really have that sound. So for me, in my opinion, this is the last BMW that rolled out of the factory that was a real BMW. Of course, you can get an E90 with a bigger engine and all stuff like that, but I really like that it's an ordinary car. It's a car for everyone, not with a lot of horsepower and all that, but it still got the straight inline 6 sound, and that's what I really love about it. The back side of the metal is, it uses a lot of fuel. Mine runs 10 liters gasoline per 100 kilometers. And that's not really that much. And if I got the 330 instead, it would run like 9.5. So for a lot of horsepower you get from the 330, it got 230 if I remember correctly. And this one only got 170. But the 200 horsepower engine drives almost the same per gallon. 330i is because in my country, if you want a bigger engine, you want more horsepower, then you got more tax on your cars. So what I'm going to do is actually just drive this. It's still accelerating fast. Of course, I would like the 330i instead, but this gets the job done. it gets the job done. Oh, I need to take the leg screw also, it's not going to get apart from here. Yaps. Yeah, I really don't hope this camera will shake too much, but as you can see here, this is the engine from underneath. We got a big oil leak, and that's a BMW marking its territory. It's not only the oil leak, actually, we got both the servo and the oil pan gasket and the oil filter housing gasket. We're going to change everything, so we got a brand new car. Another thing we're going to address is all the MTech trailing arms and steer cooler, everything. Steer cooler is a Danish word, so yeah, you probably don't understand that one. Well, it's just to take it to the car here. It really looks good, especially from being in Denmark. It don't got a lot of rust, got a little bit of rust, but not that much and not that dangerous. We need a new exhaust system. I'm thinking going stainless steel, just because it also sounds a lot better than the original exhaust. Another thing we're going to address is the whole back end here. We're going to pull everything apart. The drivetrain, differential, exhaust, the tank of the car. We're going to take everything down so we can refurbish it and make it look like completely new. Paint the whole underbody of the car. Another thing we're going to do is we got a little bit of rust. It's not that much, especially not for a Danish car. We got something like here, you can see this one here, you can actually poke it up. It's not that good. We need to get that fixed before we paint the car. We need to scratch rust down to bare metal and repaint it, so it's like a brand new car. The point of this car and the point of this YouTube channel is actually to make a kind of online service documentation for what I'm about to change on this car and do it on this car. Not only so you guys can see which parts I'm going to change, but also how I'm going to change them. So yeah, this is a little about what we're going to change of the car. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Now I'm going to reassemble the bottom of the car, and in the next video I'm going to address the oil filter housing gasket, and I'm going to address the entire coolant system and a new set of spark plugs. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you see much more of me, and I hope I'll see much more of you. Thank you.